I get to meet and interact with lots of people in and around the cannabis industry. Some of the most exciting are medical patients.
You know, as we travel the country, we've had the unique opportunity of hearing from lots of different patients and not even patients, just people that have self-medicated, for lack of a better term, and it's truly transformed their lives, whether it's PTSD or, you know, really serious chronic illness. These are just some of the stories that we've heard that have motivated us to continue down this path.
In this episode, we're going to tell you some stories of amazing people whose relationship with cannabis changed their lives. Meet Gary Hess, and well, I'm going to let him tell you his story.
My name is Gary Hess. I come up from a very conservative southern background, growing up in southern Louisiana. Hunting and fishing were a way of life for us, and if we talked about marijuana or weed or cannabis in general, the truth is that my father or my grandfather would whoop my ass. And so it's something we didn't talk about. It was definitely something we did not do. There was no medical value. It was a gateway drug, and it was addictive. And so it would lead to other drugs and then your life down the drain. I joined the service, and then shortly after, it became a time of conflict. And my card was pulled. I served as an infantry officer during 2004, 2008, during the heaviest levels of fighting in Iraq, and experienced some heavily kinetic environments where we saw a lot of loss of life. The day after Christmas in 2006, occupying a position along the Euphrates, they drove a full-size Traxel dump truck loaded with C4 into the house we were occupying and detonated. We were very well prepared. We did everything right that day, and we still lost. And lost a good friend, and it was what transpired that day. For the longest time, my body could not make a file folder for, and it left me in a state of imbalance that controlled me and overwhelmed me in ways that I didn't understand. In 2008, I transitioned out of service. What I didn't realize is that the real battle only just begun. And I came home, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I stayed in a very hyper-aroused state. Although I was in a safe situation, my body was mobilizing as if there was a threat, and I couldn't understand why, and I didn't know how to stop it. And so it eventually became a learned sense of hopelessness and a sense of helplessness. And this was a decade later. I turned my hands over to the Western model of medicine through the Veterans Administration, through highly referred private practices. My options were pharmaceuticals or surgeries. I've also tried the traditional psychoanalytic approach and the therapies that were offered. And at the end of a decade, the best answer was taking my own life, because I was just tired. Not that I wanted to die, I was exhausted. I gave in to the stigmas, and I smoked a joint at the recommendation of a Marine who served underneath my command. And it did everything the medicines were supposed to do. It brought balance to my primal functions. It allowed me to eat. It allowed me to go to bed and wake up at decent times and start living a balanced life. It did everything that the medicines were supposed to do. And at that moment, there was pure bliss, there was happiness. I felt that I had a tool that I could utilize to maintain stability in my own life. And then there was absolute anger, because the truth is they were lying to me. They've been lying to me. And I'm losing my friends, and I'm watching them die, and you see the families break down on social media. And you know it's coming, and there's nothing you can do because it has you too.